They say living below your means is the key to financial freedom. Spend less than you make, they say, and you'll be fine, they say. Sounds simple, right? It's the advice everyone gives, the golden rule of money management, the one thing we're all supposed to do. But here's the problem. Nobody talks about what that actually feels like. The constant budgeting, the social pressure, the nagging fear that you're missing out. Frugality isn't just a financial strategy, it's a mental and emotional game, and it's not always easy to win. But before you commit to cutting back, let's have an honest conversation, because living below your means can change your life, but only if you can handle what comes with it. Hi there, thank you so much for joining me today. If you don't know me, my name is Sara. I'm the owner of FrozenPennies.com. I'm a financial coach and the author of the best-selling book, Fundamentally Frugal. Now, what about this mental load of frugal living? First off, living frugally means constantly monitoring your budget. Every dollar you spend has a job, and you're always tracking where your money is going. It's not like you can just swipe your card without a second thought. You have to check your accounts, plan your spending, and even sometimes do a little mental math while you're in the middle of the grocery store to make sure you're staying on track. And that kind of vigilance, it can get exhausting. Some days you might want to just buy a coffee or grab lunch without overanalyzing the impact on your budget. Then there's the challenge of saying no to impulse purchases. We've all been there. You walk into a store, one thing, suddenly you're staring at a cart full of stuff you didn't even know you needed. I see you, Target. Living below your means constantly telling yourself no when those temptations hit. It's not just about big ticket items either, even the little things. A cute candle, a clearance rack sweater, or a quick drive-through snack. They can add up. The struggle is real, especially when you see other people spending freely without a second thought. Then there's delayed gratification and living with less. And speaking of struggles, delayed gratification is a huge part of this lifestyle. Living frugally often means waiting for things that you really want instead of getting them right away. Maybe you really want to upgrade your phone, buy a new couch, or take a vacation. But instead of putting it on a credit card, you have to save up, plan, and wait. That kind of patience takes discipline, and it's in a world where everything is available at the click of a button. It can feel frustrating. Of course, living below your means also means learning to live with less. You'll need to embrace minimalism, not necessarily an extreme own only 5 shirts way, but the sense that you can cut out anything that's unnecessary. You stop upgrading things just because a newer model is out. You use what you already have, and you don't buy something unless you truly need it. And that can feel limiting at times, especially when everyone around you seems to be upgrading, renovating, or spending on the latest trends. Let's talk about social pressure. This might be one of the hardest parts of frugal living. When you make different financial choices than the people around you, they notice. Friends might not understand why you're skipping dinner out or why you're always suggesting free activities instead of paid ones. Family members might question why you're so cheap or tell you to just enjoy life a little bit. Life's too short. The truth is, not everyone will understand, and sometimes you'll feel like the odd one out. On top of that, frugal living requires creative problem solving. If something breaks, you may not have the luxury of replacing it right away. Instead, you have to figure out how to fix it, repurpose it, or find a budget-friendly alternative. And while that can be empowering, it can also be incredibly frustrating. Sometimes you just want the convenience of buying a new one instead of spending hours researching DIY repairs. And then there's the financial FOMO. That feeling of missing out when you see people around you spending money all willy-nilly. Maybe your coworkers are all booking vacations for spring break, your friends are upgrading their cars, or your neighbors just finished a huge home renovation. Even if you're confident in your financial choices, it's hard not to feel like you're missing out sometimes. All the planning for everything and handling emergencies. Everything also requires planning ahead. You can't just decide on a whim to go out and eat or take a trip. Instead, you're budgeting for everything in advance, from groceries to vacations to household expenses. That one vacation a year takes all year long to save for. And that level of planning can feel restrictive at times. You have to think ahead, compare your prices, and strategize every purchase. Emergencies become even more stressful when you're living below your means. If you don't have much extra in savings, unexpected expenses, like a car repair, medical bill, or home issue, can feel like a really big setback. You don't have the luxury of just swiping a credit card and dealing with it later. So you have to be extra careful with your emergency fund and make tough financial decisions when unexpected costs come up. Now, the struggle with emotional discipline, sacrifice, and foregoing luxuries. Let's not forget the emotional side of frugality. It takes a lot of emotional discipline to stick with it. There will be days when you feel deprived, when you want to throw in the towel and just spend. There will be moments when you feel frustrated, tired, or even resentful of your budget. Learning to manage those emotions is key to staying on track. Taking a deep breath and relaxing. You'll also have to make some sacrifices. Maybe you cut out convenience items like meal delivery services or professional cleanings. Maybe you cancel premium subscriptions or stop eating out altogether. Whatever it is, living below your means requires giving up certain luxuries. And that can be tough, especially when you see all other people doing exactly what you want to do, without a second thought. That also means foregoing those luxuries when you technically could afford them. You might be able to buy the high-end version of something, but instead you opt for the budget-friendly option because you know it's the smarter choice. You might be able to afford a brand new car payment, but you choose not to because it doesn't make fiscal sense for you. And that's not always easy. It requires constant decision-making on your part and reminding yourself of your bigger financial goals. Let's chat about the long-term commitment and navigating the criticisms. Here's the thing. If you can handle all of this, you'll find something amazing on the other side. Learning to find joy in simple pleasures is one of the biggest benefits of frugal living. Instead of relying on spending money to feel happy, you start appreciating small moments, like a cozy night in, a homemade cup of coffee, a walk outside, and a really good book. You shift your focus from things to experiences, and that can be incredibly rewarding. And while living below your means is a long-term commitment, it's one that can change your life. This isn't just a temporary challenge. It's a way of living that requires consistency, patience, and resilience. People may criticize your choices, question why you don't enjoy life more, you must be miserable, or even make you doubt yourself. But if you can push past the noise and stay focused on your goals, you'll come out ahead. At the end of the day, living below your means isn't just about money. It's about mindset. It's about choosing long-term freedom over short-term gratification. It's about learning to be okay with less so that you can build more security, more peace of mind, and more options for the future. And if you want to chat more about mindset, watch this video next.